I mean, the glider pilots that work with me in Glide Omarama are all Omarama enthusiasts. That's probably the first prerequisite. They've got to love the place.
The glider's in that attitude. It's going around the turn with the nose below the horizon. Pull the stick back, bang, high angle of attack, you spin. I first came to Omarama about 12 years ago. I'd done a little bit of flying in the French Alps, frightened myself silly, didn't know what was going on. Came to Omarama, hired a Kestrel for week one. What an introduction to flying in the mountains.
G came from the UK, and he was and has been for a long time a professional cross-country instructor, but he came to Omarama 10, 12 years ago with no mountain flying experience at all. We taught him how to fly in the mountains, and suddenly you had a highly competent mountain flying specialist.
If you're a flatland pilot and you come here with no mountain experience, there's a lot to learn. There are quite a few safety issues. Number one rule is don't hit the hill. And it's quite easy to hit the hill because you're quite often flying quite close to the hill. So you need to learn handling techniques and judgment that will steer you away from the possibility of hitting the hill.
The thermals that are generated in the mountains are narrow, feisty, wild little beasts in which the glider has to be turned sharply, steeply, and usually very quickly.
Everything happens in the mountains the same as it happens in the flatlands, but the factors are different sizes. You'll get thermals coming off the sides of hills in the flatlands, but in the mountains you can be up against the side of a hill with the release point of the thermal way above you, trying to work the thermal that's coming up the side of the hill. The shape of it, the geometry of it is somewhat different.
This also tests the glider pilot's handling ability and his ability to stay well coordinated, even with the lack of horizon.
New Zealand has some interesting challenges. It's a windy environment because we're down in the roaring 40s. The flow of the wind around the island, down the mountain valleys, there's a very strong föhn effect, a very strong wind shadow effect, which means that downwind of the mountains it's quite hot and dry.
Because of the volatile changing weather, we get every kind of soaring conditions happening quite often on the same day. So glider pilots really have to understand how mountain leeways work, how mountain thermals work, how to run ridges, and how convergences work, because all these are absolutely fundamental to a glider pilot flying anywhere on the planet, I might add. But at Omarama they all happen one after the other, and as I said, sometimes on one day.
I've been working with Glide Omarama for a dozen years, I suppose, and we're in an ideal situation to teach people mountain flying. First of all, the landings are easy. There are a lot of places to land. The shape of the terrain means the valleys are flat and there's a lot of strips. So usually an outlanding is very easy. You can put it down in the strip, get its air tow out really quickly. So that's a great safety aspect. We've got a lot of experienced personnel. Most of the people that are here, well, everybody that's flying here professionally has been doing this for ages, and we know our way around the hills. And we know the way to teach people how to be safe in the hills. With too much rudder, the glider will go snap into that attitude. That's how people spin into the hill. You know, they're thinking about something else, the glider's a bit sideways, they pull a bit, whack! Up, 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 poof! And you go, ka-doom! And you look it into that tight turn. And when you turn it, stick and rudder, pull.
I found the management to be much better this time. Last time, Glennis and I came alone, and you almost felt very separate. But this time, you had a group of guys, you could share everything, and that made it a whole lot better than just coming out by yourself.
To see how the guys fly around the mountains, it just teaches you that, gee, there's so much more to learn.
The highlight for me really has really, once again, I think, been the camaraderie that we've all experienced on this trip.
Last time I was by myself. This time we've dragged other people here and shown them some of the South Island of New Zealand. It's a beautiful place.
We had good weather conditions. We had good flying every day. I would say, the instructor of instructors.